Welcome to MSEndpointMgr Jungling with Cloud. We are here today to talk about, the waving hand as well. We are going to talk about AI taking over the world. And with us here today, it's me, Nickolaj, as the host. And Michael, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I am Clippy. I am happy to be here. Happy holiday. Okay. I'm Michael, part of the MSEndpointMgr crew. And I'm here today with the sad news about AI taking over our world. And Jan, please explain why you're skeptical.
This is Jan. I'm today's Santa, and I'm just here to deliver gifts. So, skeptic gifts. Okay.
No.
So one of the whole reasons for this sort of session is obviously it's getting close to Christmas. It's late in the evening when we are recording this. We have been playing around with ChatGPT, I think it's called.
Yes.
See what we could actually accomplish with it, and we have been feeding it a lot of funny things. So I think we should just get started, right? I mean, who wants to start?
Yeah, I will. I'll get going with a little thing because it wasn't 100% by coincidence that I put on the Clippy shirt, because you remember when Clippy came out, what was Clippy supposed to do, Jan?
It's about, it was the first attempt of a digital assistant, right?
Exactly. It was the first attempt at a digital assistant, and it was
good.
It kind of it was very helpful, but I hope we can all agree that it tried to help when you didn't really want it to pop up and be a part of your screen.
Hello, this is Clippy. Do you need my help?
Yeah, it looks like you're trying to write an email. Yes, now F off. It's like,
no, I'm not writing an email in Outlook when I create a new email.
Exactly. So it was kind of a bit too obvious. So here we have ChatGPT, which is basically OpenAI's version of a GPT language learning model. I think it's in version 3 or something. I'm not an expert on any of this. I don't think any of us are. So just get that out of the way. We're playing around with it like noobs, but we're also learning a little bit about what this could possibly end up being in the future, right? So it's a little bit better than Clippy. Okay, Jan, you got to give me that.
Yep, it's a little bit better than Clippy. Maybe you should ask it. Who is Clippy?
Who is Clippy? And I can say Clippy as well. Clippy. Who is Clippy?
Are you writing in the correct chat now? Because we are not seeing what you're typing.
You're not seeing what I'm typing. I'm seeing everything.
I can see it as well, so it should be good.
Yeah.
I don't see this picture. There it is. Wow.
Your hat, Jan.
It's Santa lag. I'm too far away up north.
Oh, yeah. Because you're traveling at the speed of light, delivering presents at the same time while you're doing this, so you have some sort of time lag. Yeah.
It's not an AI.
No, because it wasn't really using a language learning model. I think it was like a programmed response all the time based on some sort of actions you were doing. But it wasn't that big a hit. I think if we're talking in the context of Clippy and you were sitting in Outlook, or no, let's say Word, which it was very fond of showing up in, and you said, hey, how do I write, in bold? I know that's very simple.
What's the key combination, right?
Yeah. I don't think Clippy might have been able to answer this question. Let's see if ChatGPT is an involvement has evolved on that. So select the text you want to make bold and click the bold button on the font group in the home tab. It has, it's being very explanatory here, right? So this button has a B in bold, and
It sort of feels like you're looking at the Office support pages, right?
Yeah, it does. But we should also maybe make people aware that it's been trained with like a ton of, excuse my language, a ton of data from the internet, obvious sources would be, I don't know the actual sources, but I'm thinking GitHub at least. A lot of dictionaries. It can talk almost any language in the world. Now we're from Scandinavia, so we don't have a common language, but I could ask it something in Danish like, what
is?
Microsoft Office? Yeah, you translate, Jan.
Yeah, what is Microsoft Office?
Exactly. And it should understand that. I haven't actually tried to switch language context like that. But yeah, see, it understood it.
Oh, it works.
And it's explaining in English because that's sort of the context I started in.
Yeah.
If I start a new chat and I start the first question in Danish, it will actually think I want to talk Danish, and it will continue like that.
Yeah, but didn't you just see Microsoft Office ? And then it gave you this? I mean, does it really understand your Danish, or it's just saying, "Oh, Microsoft Office ? Blah blah Microsoft Office."
Well, then give me some other question, like
right,
know.
just blah blah Microsoft Intune ?
Blah blah. Hello, I'll put in some weird Danish word.
Good stuff.
You think it's gonna understand that? Like, we didn't rehearse any of this, guys. Just for
this
the
is, off the
viewers.
No rehearsal.
Straight off the bat. Yeah, like I said, it just saw Microsoft Intune ? And that's what it does.
But it does. I mean, I've asked it longer questions in my own language, so it does understand. But yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? We can only manage mobile devices with Intune. That's sad.
Yeah.
Or including Windows and Mac computers. Okay.
I mean, mobile devices. What is that nowadays? We have such long power cords you can get at the hardware store. So I would just take my desktop under the arm. I can go with it for like 100 meters. That's a mobile device.
No, you just need to throw out your Windows PC and replace it with a MacBook or something. Then you can run for 20 hours
Probably,
straight.
yeah. I'll be honest. I'm on a Mac right now, and I don't care. So,
you shouldn't.
But we're talking about Intune now. So, for our audience, are mostly endpoint managers, system admins, right? So, if we're to talk about how could this help somebody get started with understanding some new concepts, maybe in Intune, if they're coming from a non-mobile device management sort of world, maybe something very legacy, and they hear stuff like MDM. I know people are going to say everybody knows what MDM is, but let's see. So if you were brand new, you're fresh out of school, you're put into the office saying, hey, you got to help us with this Intune stuff, and you don't know what these different abbreviations mean, then ChatGPT could help you out perhaps. So let's say, what does MDM mean? Very simple, right? And
modern
it should
driver
know that
management, right?
Modern driver management, yes. So I'm kind of curious if it will figure out that we're talking in the context, because we just asked it about Intune, so I shouldn't have to explain Intune to it. It should actually remember the context that we're in right now.
I would answer that quicker than ChatGPT right now, because I think it's a bit slow tonight.
It is very slow. We were actually almost abandoning this because it's very popular, and yesterday I heard a rumor that this thing costs $3 million a day to run. Somebody made a calculation. That is very serious. $3 million a day. So
they're actually going $3 million like losing money every day.
Yeah, and that's because this is free right now, but it's supposedly it's gonna cost money. So yeah. What does Intune MDM mean? Maybe it'll be simpler. Oh no, I'm in the gutter now. It won't let me do anything more. I'll start a new chat and say, please explain.
It's gonna say now. It's like slow down. That's the next thing it's gonna tell you.
Do you think so? Even though I made a new chat, we'll see. Perhaps. No, see, I got a.
There we go.
And yeah, for anybody starting playing around with this, there are a lot of people that are heavily abusing it to, I think, run businesses. Even so, they put in a lot of bot countermeasures and stuff like that. So you can get asked to log in quite often. But you can see here now it's sort of explaining the concept. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but skimming it seems very accurate. And you can have it elaborate on stuff. So it's talking about this bring your own device stuff. So if we say, okay, please elaborate on BYOD, and we'll see if it can sort of give us some more information there, help us extend our knowledge around this.
It would really have been so funny if this was all a scam and somebody was actually sitting there in the back somewhere answering.
The $3 million a day could be just to a call center in India. So it's I mean, that's the biggest call center economy in the world, right? So
it's probably not a good business idea, so should probably not recommend it.
No. But it's see, it's going pretty deep on bring your own device. It's talking about security concerns and data management and compatibility issues. And I think, even if you're not a sysadmin, I know we're probably not going to have CIOs and like high-level IT folks watching this, but they would actually be able to benefit from this. So you could go to your boss and say, if there's something you don't understand in the report I just wrote, please ask ChatGPT. Don't ask me. I'm busy working. So you could outsource some of your boss's questions to ChatGPT and get an answer. Not that I have done that, but you could.
Yeah, right.
So, but that was sort of a lightweight introduction to some of the stuff it can help you out with. Should we jump into what was the next section? We were talking about showing
how it can document the PowerShell script for us.
Exactly. So let's say, Jan, did you have a script that was good for this? I can go to GitHub.
When we talk about script, because you did talk about GitHub, right? So normally, if you have a script on your local machine, you can paste it into the AI and ask it questions about your script. But actually, I have one in the. If you do the scripts, that's in the chat here.
Oh, yeah.
Ask it to explain that script to you.
I'll say
it's in the chat channel.
I got it here. Please explain this script to me. And we're just going to
popcorn.
Paste in this. Sure.
This is going to be fun. Oh, it's the delayed targeting group script.
So Jan, maybe quickly give us a resume before ChatGPT, just like one line. What does it do?
It's a script that checks the enrollment date and adds the devices to a group like 24 hours after the enrollment is completed.
All right. So
I got another script for us afterwards when it finishes.
That'd be great. So it gives us a high-level overview. There's sort of a preface to what the script does, and then it's
match the criteria is right, but it doesn't tell you what the criteria is.
But it's working hard to try and do something here, and I think that's sort of the main thing here. Is the takeaway I would say from this example is it can go out and get that script. It can sort of understand it. We did test that a bit earlier, and the more comments that are in the script, the better it will understand it. But it's not something you should put your head into the guillotine on. Like you could get it chopped off if you're required to do this for work, right?
Yeah, but again, this is a script that runs in Azure Automation. So I mean, what if you want to kind of hey, I don't want to use PowerShell in Azure Automation. I want to use Python, right? So you can actually ask it to rewrite a script in Python, the same script. And then I won't say it's complete because I don't know anything about Python, but it gives you some ideas, at least, on how you could start looking into learning a new language.
Feeding it scaffolding.
Simple commands from the language and say, hey, how would I do this in Python?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, that's a valid point for guys like us that usually don't do Python. So how do we even start a Python script, right? For just now we're talking authentication, client ID, secrets, stuff like that. How do we get that scaffolding going, and from there on, do our actual work, right? So we get that started from
One example
the script.
that we, I mean, at least in my line of work, often get into is that when I find like a documentation or something that I'm looking to automate, right? You often see that the official documentation generally from Microsoft it has like a C# example, and you want to do something in PowerShell, right? So I mean, if you had some C# code, you can go in here and just translate that into PowerShell and see how well it does and perform.
That's actually a great idea.
Obviously, I shouldn't recommend you to just run this script directly because you should probably read through it, but it actually performs. But this is interesting. I've never really seen Python, to be honest. But
I've worked a little bit with it.
It's not that hard. Maybe you should try and learn it, actually.
It's pretty easy to read Python, but
yeah, this was a fully automated script, and here is a lot of prompting the users and stuff. So it didn't really understand the script, but at least it tried to do, and you have something to start with, and then maybe you can adopt. At least you have something, like maybe the authentication part works or whatever.
Michael, give it a try with the script that I added in chat just to see, because that is a really lengthy one. I just want to understand or see how well it goes.
And that's your invoke image servicing.
Yeah.
Please explain this script. I'm just being nice and putting on another line and stuff like that. But usually you don't even have to be that nice to it. It's just me. I don't like bossing around machines. So it's like it's helping me out. Why should I be mean to it? I heard somebody used it as a therapist. That's weird. But hey, if it helped them. It's also been some discussions around children's books. Some guy wrote a whole children's book just using ChatGPT and published it on Amazon.
Is it correct what it says about your script, Nickolaj?
Sort of, yeah. I'm actually really impressed. Oh, is it already done?
There we go.
It's a high-level overview.
It's really
This is your blog post now. You don't need to, if you want to have a readme on that script, this is what you need. This is your readme.md in GitHub. Just copy this and put it in GitHub, and then you have your readme.
So that's simplify.
I'm horrible at spelling, but hey, let's try and feed it the horrible spelling and see if it actually gags out on that. I don't think it'll have a problem with simplify, which is a very common Scandinavian word, wouldn't you say? Like Cameloso and silence. Right?
Yeah, silence.
Not funny.
What would be interesting, though, is that if you had a script with obvious errors in it, if you can make it detect errors in your code.
Yeah, but none of us have that kind of script, Jan.
Well, we can always make a script that calls a function that doesn't exist or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, it wouldn't know what kind of modules you have on your machine, so it might not be correct, whatever. So it's not that easy to. It must be something that's totally wrong.
Yeah.
Can you get it to run like PS script analyzer, that sort of thing? Or could you even build like a test file for the script?
Perhaps. Could you build a test file for the script using PS Analyzer?
PS Script Analyzer.
PS Script Analyzer.
I meant something else with a test file, but still. Anyway.
I'm just I haven't used that thing for a year or 3 years probably. So I'll gladly admit.
Test and the script can be run without errors.
So now it's just basically.
It actually gives you a test file. This is cool.
This is pretty cool.
Oh,
this was
man,
not rehearsed.
I wish that I'm still a consultant.
Yeah, you could save so much time. Yeah. No, I've actually used it to do scaffolding for me just quickly instead of me starting out everything from scratch or copying some old script and rewriting it. I'll just ask it to set up some simple authentication against Graph API or something like that, or build the filtering queries. It's not that good at filtering queries for Graph API, so you gotta still know how the format of that goes, but it will save you some time nevertheless. But it's not for like novices that don't understand the API at all. Same goes for Kusto queries, right, Jan?
Yeah.
It's still learning or something like that with
Yeah, and
Kusto.
it's if you work in security, you can't really ask it about anything that's kind of complex. Like if you want to say find all sign-ins from user A over the last 3 days where MFA was not invoked, it's just gonna say this is like invasion of privacy, or it stops you from asking that question actually.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go back to the whole commenting script. So I found one here which is not extremely commented. I did put in some comments here, which I usually do. So it's kind of hard for me to find one where I didn't put them in. But I will say, please comment all PowerShell commands in this script.
So are you basically telling it to improve your work?
I don't think in this case, but we should try and ask it that as well. Oh, so we'll ask it now to just comment on the different lines of the PowerShell script and see what it does. Because I mean, we did test this out a little bit before recording this, and it does like some explanations around the script. It'll make it easier for it to comment. Now we ran into an issue. We'll try again. Please comment each PowerShell command.
I guess if I go back to my old GitHub repo, I would find a lot of poor scripts.
Yeah, some
not working.
oldies but goodies. Yeah. I probably have some as well, but it's not top of mind, right? You write something, you put it out there, you use it for a while, and then it's still there. We don't really clean up that much on the internet, do we? All right, so now it's going. So now, yeah, so this is a bit different than our output before. So now it's commenting on the lines as if, I didn't understand them, but it's not commenting on them as if it was to be put into the script for somebody else to read, right? But this is interesting as well. So it's basically explaining to us each line according to its understanding of the script and PowerShell itself, of course. And it's
oh my god,
a bit off, but it's it's doing something. It'll take forever. Like, I don't think it was that big of a script. It was like a quick cleanup AD stuff. Yeah.
But Michael, go to the chat. I would actually like to see if it can convert some C# code into PowerShell, because that would be super easy.
We'll start a new chat here. Unfortunately, there's no like stop what you're doing button. I think it's just continuing in the background on some GPU spending $3 million. But
so that's where all the graphic cards.
I think you need to. I think you should go into that URL and then copy out some code, right? It's not.
Should I?
It's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought.
because it's a lot of text and stuff in there. So just open it up.
Okay.
So go and take the code sample and try to see if you can write that in PowerShell.
So this one, yeah. Please rewrite this to PowerShell.
And please fix your misspell.
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's
Like,
see if it works.
I have a sore little finger always, so I don't know.
Are you typing with your little finger?
I am typing with all my fingers.
Oh man.
I can't help it.
You're not doing this type of thing?
No. I wish that I wouldn't make as many mistakes. No.
Sorry.
I went to school once where we had to learn to speed write, and I got the hang of it for, I don't know, a few weeks, and then I left that school because of professional differences, and
Oh,
yeah,
seriously?
I forgot it.
Yeah,
Right?
type, sure.
That's pretty cool. Setting the assembly.
There's no really reference to what it's actually adding, but
So we could add that afterwards, but yeah.
Okay, so it's referencing the .NET.
Yeah.
But
this is actually useful.
It's trying to do some .NET stuff inside PowerShell, right? Well, it didn't have to do that. It could do it with native PowerShell stuff, but it didn't have to include that assembly, for example.
No, but
it's a good start.
To take this script and rewrite it, the script. So
basically, so it works with PowerShell. Yeah, so we could say, please use msal ps instead of the assembly. See what
you think that's gonna work? If that works, it's magic.
It does do some magic sometimes. We'll see. The anticipation is building. We should have drums like, yeah. What was that, Jan? That was like a butt helicopter. I think
like
we're
magic.
Oh. Yeah, and now Nickolaj gets his magic because it's doing the import module msal ps.
Whoa. Okay, I'm a little bit impressed, to be honest.
It is, and from that simple
correct,
text, right?
Yeah, the public client
it looks
application.
Pretty correct. I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not capable of reading it and YouTubing it at the same times. I'm not a multitasker. I'll let the computer do that.
I don't like that it names the variables like you would do when you wrote it in C#, but I'm okay with that. That's a pretty
So should we ask it to do something different with the variables, Nickolaj?
Yeah, use other variables.
Yeah.
Rename.
Please use other variables.
What happens if you ask it to obfuscate it, right?
Yeah, right. That's a good idea. Please obfuscate the script.
Then you don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so please find the script afterwards.
You could probably like say, please obfuscate it or encrypt it using this key, and you generate your key somewhere, something like that. We're not going to go into that, but could probably do it. The tension.
Yeah.
No.
So it does know what we want it to do.
Can you ask it to encode it in base 64?
Yeah. So, but it's busy and it's trying to give us a lesson on why we.
I'll do like this
shouldn't use it to this. Yeah. So it should be able to do base 64 because it's very easily reversible, but it's also very usable. Yeah, it's very basic. But it's I'm using base64 encryption, some types of scripts if I need to like do a one-line partial script for some reason inside a scheduled task or something legacy like that. And yeah, then you can just do a command block with that. So let's see what happens.
This is going to be the last one that we test out. Then we need to wrap it up.
Yeah. Did we have other?
Yeah, it's not doing it; it's telling us how to do it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's not wrong.
What should we say though? I mean, we have been looking at this, and yes, it can be helpful. It can help you, give you ideas, but I don't think it's going to replace my job or replace the stuff people do on our blog. It's not like a one size fits all at all. It's like you can't just ask it to do it the way you want to do it. Like we saw before here is like it using old Intune PowerShell modules. It doesn't use the graph module. I mean, it's not necessarily doing the right things, even though he completes the task.
Yep, I'm definitely down with that. And the original thought still needs to be there, right? It's not necessarily going to give you a completely original thought. It can give you something based on the data set it has and that it's learned through obviously, like every time somebody's using it, like we are right now, we're teaching it something. So they might be giving us free access, but it's like Facebook, right? You're selling your soul or your time training the model, right? So it's
yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, as a finishing touch, I wrote something in the chat. Can you ask it to do what I said in the chat, just to finish off this session?
Yes.
Sun. Would you like a sun?
No.
Yeah, Christmas song. Christmas song, please.
Songe. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to write Xmas or something?
Christmas song. Yeah, I think it's gonna write our Christmas song.
I'm pretty confident that it can write good songs. And I mean, maybe we should ask Rod Trent if he had early access to this when he wrote the KQLing song.
Maybe he did.
No, I think Rob is a good guy. He would never do us like that. Do you have the melody ready, Jan? I heard a little chime there.
No, it's just my watch tells me it's time to go to bed.
Sure, here's a Christmas song with the tune of Deck the Halls about Intune. Verse 1.
Oh, really?
You want me to sing?
Yeah, can you sing?
Deck the halls with Intune's delight. Fa la 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 la. Add some policies that'll make things right. La 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 la. Intune, making life secure. Fa la 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 la. Managing devices, that's for sure. Fa la 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 la. And yeah, it goes.
I mean, we should
horribly on and on.
We should post this on the blog.
I'm sure Google will penalize us for putting this on our blog. I think we should put it in the comments section on the YouTube video.
Yeah, let's do that.
Click like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Boom, 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 and sing this song.
Subscribe to this channel. We'll do more fun next year.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope we see you all next year.
Happy holidays.
See you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.